this is Nayalla. Thank you so much for joining me again today. So today what I would like to do is really go through self-love, because it seems to me, by working with certain people, having certain conversations and giving readings, there's still a lot of confusion around self-love and what implications that has. There's a lot of people feel very guilty about even talking about loving themselves, and I'll put my hand up, I was one of those people too for a long time, especially being an empath. It seems to go hand in hand. If you are somebody who is very empathic, somebody who's very sympathetic to other people's feelings, very often what happens is you will put your own needs right back there and really concentrate on other people. And that's definitely what happened for me on my journey. I would almost sort of totally neglect and forget about me and just really focus on the needs of those around me. And consequently, it made me very ill. It affected my mental health, it affected my physical health, and obviously it had an effect on my soul, on the spiritual aspect as well. As soon as I did start putting my needs first and really giving my body and my mind and, myself the care and the love that I needed, everything started to improve. My mental health improved, my physical health improved, and obviously then my spiritual aspects blossomed and bloomed and took a step forward as well. It's not wrong to love yourself. The thing is, there is certain people that are the other way around, and it can be quite extreme, where they are just fully focused on themselves and they will push forward and not think how what they're doing is affecting others. Now, obviously, that is very much the extreme. The majority of people, that I've worked with anyway, and myself included, because we have got that empathic sense to us, because we are heart-based beings, we will never get to that place where we are just totally forgetting and neglecting the needs of others as well. It's obviously finding that balance. It's not going from one extreme to the other. It's actually balancing it out. And what I came to the conclusion was, I am somebody who has always been pretty spiritual, and I've always wanted us all to get on and us all to appreciate one another and have this sense of unity. But as I went through this healing process, what became more and more apparent is that it's not going to work if I'm saying, all right, I want all of you to be in unity, I want all of you to be happy, I want all of you to be healthy, but I wasn't including myself in that. And by not including myself in that, there's therefore not unity, if that makes sense. And I know a lot of us who are very empathic are doing the very same thing, where we'll want it for everybody else, but we won't include ourselves there. So in order for us to have this sense of unity on a global scale, we have to be in the best shape we possibly can be. We have to make sure that we are filling our cup up, that we are vibrating at the highest frequency, which means that we have to be loving ourselves, we have to be caring for ourselves, and we have to be making sure that our needs are met. So this journey for me, because last year I went through quite a big fast, it did bring forward a lot of emotional stuff that I actually had buried quite deep. And one of the things that did surface was actually to do with my own self-esteem and my own confidence, and how I was, over time not really giving myself the self-love that I really needed. And it started with me being very overcritical of my appearance. And last year, because I was doing a lot of this emotional healing, I got to the root cause of it. And when I was a very young child, a toddler, an older child actually scratched my face, and they scratched my face quite badly at the time. I did end up being scarred. Now, luckily, most of those scars have gone. They've faded over time, but it left an ingrain in me emotionally, thinking, well, that happened to me, so then therefore there's something wrong with the way I look. If I didn't look this way, if my face wasn't like this, that wouldn't have happened to me. Now, obviously, I was a very young child. I wasn't able to, compute it the way that I can right now. I obviously now know that I'm being older and that I've gone through a lot of healing and understanding. That child was obviously dealing with stuff at that point. That child was obviously hurting in some way, and it wasn't actually anything to do with me. It was things to do with that child, and that older child, projected that hurt onto me. Now, as I got a little bit older, I did have sexual advances and, things of a sexual nature coming my way as well. And again, it just sort of confirmed that these things were happening to me because I looked a certain way or because I was me, basically. And so the more things were reinforced of that thinking, the more I started really being very hard on myself, and obviously my confidence did plummet because of a lot of other things as well. And I would be believing that these things were happening because of me. I was really going internally, putting the blame on me the whole time. It's all my fault, it's all my fault, it's all my fault. So I was getting weighed down and feeling heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. Now, as soon as I started really lightening the load and understanding that these things happened not necessarily because of the way I look, although there is some kind of correlation there. It wasn't my fault, and it's not so much that I am to blame. It's because of things that other people were going through at that time. So I had to really let go of all that way of thinking and really start seeing myself in a new way, seeing myself in a new light, and starting to appreciate who I am as a person. And that means unconditionally loving myself on the good days, on the bad days, when I'm not feeling so good, when I'm feeling great, and everywhere in between, and making sure that I'm putting in my body the best things for me, making sure that I am, doing things that are going to bring me bliss, going to bring me happiness, going to bring me joy, and really raise my vibration, because that's something that I wasn't doing as well, by obviously, putting myself last, bottom of the list, so to speak. It would always be what the other person wanted to do, what made the other people happy, what was right for them. It wasn't necessarily right for me. And now I understand that I was one of those people pleaser type of characters. I was somebody that was constantly hiding myself, and somebody who's constantly, masking as well. And even though it was because I was trying to protect myself, and even though it was because I was trying to, do the only thing that I knew at the time to survive, basically, it's not the right way to be. The right way to be is standing strong, standing firm in who you are, and having the confidence to say, hang on a minute, that might be right for you, but it's not right for me. And it doesn't mean that I don't care for you. It doesn't mean that you're wrong and I'm right. It just means that we're different. And, I need to care for me, because when I'm caring for me, when I am really raised up in my frequency and my vibration, I'm then able to give in a much better way to others. I'm then able to really contribute in a much better way. I'm not feeling heavy, I'm not feeling weighed down, I'm not getting ill, but I'm able to do what I'm here to do. And that's really the same for all of us. So if you are somebody who's feeling very guilty about, maybe stepping up the self-care, or somebody who's maybe not even thinking about loving yourself, but you're really loving everybody else, just think about this. You are very much a very loving person, a very caring person, a very sensitive person. Just imagine how much more of that beautiful energy you could give if you was actually coming in more and giving that beautiful energy to yourself firstly. So I'm going to leave that with you today. I hope that has helped you in some way. I'm sending you all my love. I'm wishing you all the very, very best. And I hope to see you again very, very soon. Goodbye for now.